Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to yet another episode of We Talk Talent Series Season 2. Those who have been following us know that We Talk Talent Series is a special initiative by the Economic Times ETHRWorld, through which we interview senior HR leaders from the industry to talk about human resource management space and the current trends influencing the space. Today, we have Mr. Praveen Chanda, Head Human Resources India and APAC Globaldata with us. Welcome, Praveen.
Thank you, Priya. Thanks for the warm welcome and the intro. And I'm glad to be part of this We Talk Talent series.
Praveen is a seasoned HR professional with over 16 years of experience with a demonstrated history of working in the BIS, IT, ITES, encompassing entire gamut of core functional HR. He has built on his expertise to handle size, scale, and growth at different tangents of the organization lifecycle, and further has built core HR architecture for multiple organizations. He has deep expertise in people and process optimization, strategic HR, talent acquisition and management, HR consulting, organizational effectiveness, change management, employee engagement, cross-functional team leadership, and HR digitization. As the head of HR for Globaldata Asia, he partnered with business leaders, global HR leaders to drive talent strategy that enables achievement of the company's strategic business goals in Asia. At Globaldata, he is responsible for effective implementation and delivery of the global HR operation models in Asia. As a member of regional executive leadership team, he partnered with countries manager across Asia to drive HR priorities, enabling business growth. So with this kind of experience, we are sure going to get a lot of insights from him today. So with that, I will shoot in my first question. So in the past few years, we have seen a lot of change due to the disruptions and the COVID era that we are all living in, that has become a part and parcel of our lives, and which has changed the way we have imagined our work and workplaces. So with that, I would like you to throw some light on how has your hiring strategy changed concerning the sourcing, selection, and pipeline management post the pandemic?
I think that's a need of the hour as well at the moment for many organizations. So as you rightly said, Priya, the last couple of years have brought about diverse changes in the HR industry. The whole industry has evolved and everything has transformed. The way we live, the way we work, the way we do our business, etc. Pretty much most of the things. Now, in this whole gamut of things, talent acquisition has also evolved significantly in terms of hiring process, sourcing avenues, selection process, how we reach out to our candidates, how we schedule the interview conversations, and how we build a pipeline. I mean, there is a significant change in this overall, framework. Now, some of the factors that have contributed to the overall change, for some of these above elements that we just discussed, is about, the fact being that all the interviews today are video interviews or virtual interviews, right? That has become the new norm. Now, another significant change is about ensuring that candidate delight is same as when we had, in-person interviews. That was a different, period where we had face-to-face connects, and we used to ensure that candidate experience is intact, and all those things were quite important. And we have to ensure that similar experience is left with candidates, even if it's virtual interview, right? And location no longer limits the talent hunt abilities. So, our sourcing strategies have changed now. It doesn't have to be location specific, or they have to come to office to appear for an interview, or after you offer them, they have to come to that specific location or relocate. That's not a concern anymore. Now, it's an employee-driven market. The war for talent, that we speak about is true, and it's currently recognized as it's an employee-driven market and not employer. And there is demand versus supply concern across the market. Now, the way the employees or the job seekers look for what they need in a job has also changed. It's more of a purpose-driven, whether it meets their personal values, and what is the purpose they bring to the table, and also what kind of a EVP does an employer offer to me. That's the kind of lookout that they have. Offer to joiner ratios have tumbled, and we have started factoring those into our overall hiring funnel, which was not the case pre-COVID, right? The ratios were at least decent enough. Now it is significantly moved. and digitization of the overall process, right from interacting with the candidate till his onboarding. Everything is digitized. It's no more an in-person or that we have face-to-face connect. Everything. We have a technology influence or technology inclusion at every stage of the process. That's another major shift. Now, on sourcing, if we look at pre-COVID model, the conventional methods have taken a backseat. Like walk-in drives, weekend drives, job fairs, job mailer, direct walk-ins, pool campuses. This all faded away now, right? It's all old and stale now. Now it's a different era now. Online job applications, using mobile apps, e-apps, WhatsApp groups. That's how the job postings are getting floated, and where you get some good response as well. Now, attending interviews at the comfort of your home, or while you're at a coffee shop, is what we are observing, when we are talking to candidates. And we understood that this is a change that we're experiencing, and we have to adopt our hiring strategies, sourcing, selection process according to the changes, that are influencing the overall market. And that's how we started leveraging the digital channels to market our job postings, and also started to intensify usage of our social media handles, like WhatsApp, LI postings, building career web, pages, LI pages, Glassdoor scores, Glassdoor pages, events, activities, selling our culture, selling our EVP have become a part of our sourcing strategy, which is quite intense, which was not the case earlier. You release a job ad saying that there is a walk-in. There used to be hundreds of people who used to walk in to your office, and you had the choice to select from those hundreds and thousands of people, which is not the case now. So accordingly, we had to fine-tune our entire hiring sourcing strategy. And coming to selection, we also had to trim down on the number of interviews without compromising on the quality of selection process. Being agile with your overall selection process is the key to the current scenario. Gone are those days where we used to have like 6 to 7 interviews. Every interview is scheduled on a different day, and then it takes weeks or months to get an offer to the candidate and confirm the selection and all. I don't think that process exists anymore now. It's speed is the key, ensuring that we're not compromised on the quality and getting the right hire through the digitization. To the using the technology tools are the play at the moment. Also, one of the important attribute that we see now in our selection process is a person willing to wear multiple hats and adaptability. It's not like exclusive, I would do only this job. The person should be able to pick up everything and be adaptable, right? The customer needs are changing, so is the business changing, so are the technologies changing. So everything is evolving, and so are the jobs. So, and the talent whom we are hiring has to adapt to the changing needs, right? And pipeline management, like you asked, earlier, we used to factor in on a realistic example, if there are about 10 vacancies, right? We used to have 12 to 13 offers, and we used to say, this is how, is our pipeline management. Now, the current explosive job market, we can't manage with the same numbers or, same calculations. So we had to change our overall pipeline management also suiting the current needs. Each skill or each area has a different turn-up ratio, has a different offer to joining ratio. So you looking at the statistical data of what has happened in the last 2-3 years, we have accordingly changed our overall pipeline management as well. So that's how all these factors attributed to the overall change or redesigning of the overall TA engine framework.
Yeah, so there has been a lot of change, and as you mentioned, these are some intense changes since the expectation from both sides, employers and the employees, are changing. And that has also led to different challenges. So with that, I would like to take on my second question. So what are some of the biggest challenges that you are facing in talent acquisition space, and how do you plan to overcome those?
I think there are multiple challenges. I think the first and the primary one, in my opinion, is the demand versus supply. Right, with COVID situation and the pandemic situation, the technology has taken the front seat. It has been the torchbearer for solution for everything, right from your grocery to your medical supply to your doctor consultation. Everything is technology driven. So with that in mind, there are so many startups, unicorns have spurted up, right? And there is a significant job vacancies that have come up, and due to which we're all chasing the same talent pool, and that is causing that demand versus supply issues. And another one is, standing out amongst the noise, right? In my opinion, the greatest obstacle, for recruiters is connecting with candidates through the noise of all the other 2,000 recruiters trying to reach the same candidates, right? So what we have done at our end is, we found a way to build our brand on attracting through the noise, like from sharing the stories of real employees, real-time employees on social media, to creating standout LinkedIn career pages. Now, the goal is to show candidates on how our company can help them find purpose and grow in their careers. We leave them links, employee experience, how our employees have spoken, spotlight, notes, and showcase our culture, and also trained our recruiters to best position our employee value proposition, so as to let the applicants know that, how unique we are and what value they would get if they join us, by showing them some real example instead of just talking. And also we have revamped our overall employee value proposition that is tailored to the existing needs of the, of the employer market. And also a continuous focus on improving offer to joiner ratios. I'm sure a lot of other HR folks in the industry would watch and agree for this. The current offer to joining market is insane, right? You give 10 offers, you don't know until last minute what's happening, whether they're going to join you or not. Unless, like I mentioned, if you don't constantly be in touch and show what kind of value proposition you can bring them, it's unlikely that, you would have people joining you. So there has been a continuous focus on that, creating that consistent candidate experience, developing a recruiting culture, using recruiting metrics, to identify opportunities for improvement, gathering feedback from the candidates while we are talking to them or post their interviews. We run a survey, understand what was good, what was wrong, what we can improve on. A very short, simple survey, which doesn't, where the candidates doesn't have to invest a long time, because these days surveys are so prominent that people don't, show interest. But, that's why we made it very short and smart, where we get the relevant information. And another challenge that we are facing, what we have come across is that candidate impersonations, right? Because with everything being virtual, remote, and you don't have that face connect, there are some irregularities that are happening, which most of the organizations must have faced. And, there are checks and balances that we have adopted. Candidate proctoring, video recordings, and sanity check to avoid such irregularities. Undertaking forms are also used as a way of documenting things, that you are the right candidate who appeared for the interview and you are the one who are working for the projects. The gig workers are also quite prominent in the market, as you know. Now, there is so many things that are happening. If you don't have a proper check and balance in place, then this could be a case of concern to you in your talent acquisition process. Now, another thing, that we've also adopted is making our hiring managers calibrate with the market situation, right? We constantly feed them with market intelligence on what's happening in the market, what are the various other competition companies that are hiring similar talent, what are the benefits that they are getting, how has been the offer to joining ratio, what has been the competition reach, what is the talent landscape, talent availability, and the overall candidate sentiment in that area. So that hiring managers understand the nuances and they're sensitive about the selection process. They know what they're looking at and they know how much they can demand from a candidate, and they accordingly take a selection decision. So it's very important that they have the market intelligence, so they are aware what they are getting into. So that's how we've been addressing those challenges as and when we are facing them.
Yeah, I'm sure audiences have taken down all the important notes that you have shared with us today. Since you also mentioned the gig part of it, since the change in the working scenario, it has opened a lot of new doors for the people who wanted to have a flexible culture and wanted to work on their own terms instead of being someone sitting on their head to do their work. So with that, I would like to ask you, what's your take on gig economy? And do you think how mature are organizations in India to capitalize on gig economy?
So with everything becoming virtual, like we just spoke, everything is virtual and, work from anywhere, so that is amplifying the overall gig economy, and this has also secured more prominence in the recent past because of the change in environment and change in work cultures and change in the way we work today. So while we had our hesitations around ownership of responsibilities, data privacy, confidentiality, sense of belongingness, and also our thought process on conventional working styles, all these have changed now with the technology inclusion and has found a growing acceptance to gig work. Like I mentioned, the demand versus supply issue is one of the top concern area for any organization today, and including us. This has also made a lot of hiring managers look at gig economy as a solution for some of the prominent roles which we are not able to get from the existing market. Also, in terms of whether India is capitalizing on gig economy, I think there are significant efforts that are made, and this is a growing market. If you look at the recent labor laws that have come, the 4 new labor laws or codes that are to be implemented yet, covers gig workers under the ambit of social security. So which will amplify Generation Y and Z workers to add up to the overall gig talent pool, where they already enjoy greater flexibility. The only drawback in the past, COVID, was they did not have the social security benefits likes of gratuity, provident fund, SA and all. Now the new labor codes are saying that they all should be covered under the social security norms. So I mean, you can imagine what kind of response you would have from the gig economy. So what I see is, in all, we would see a significant increase in gig economy, and we see it as a greater solution. Personally, with our organization, the contributions of gig economy in the overall workforce has significantly improved.
Yeah, thank you, Praveen. With that, we will move to a little bit different topic and our last question for the today. So, can you throw some light on your DE&I agenda at your organization?
As an organization, we are committed to creating an inclusive workplace supportive of a diverse workforce. We treat all our employees fairly and with respect, and aim to create an environment in which our differences and contributions are recognized and valued. So we also have a robust Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and DEIN policies that address our DEIN agenda. So DEIN agenda has a lot of prominence in the past as well, but now it has become even more an inclusive topic in even the boards, right? Even at the board meetings, people talk about these metrics as to measure as an organization's health and what kind of diverse population we have, which also talks and reflects about the organization's culture as well. So that's how it has become very important topic even in the board meetings. So from India per se, I mean, though I feel this is a concept which has been driven more from the Western markets and from the Western organizations, but I think it slowly has picked up the pace even in India. From India per se, I think gender, race, age, region, and so forth are some of the attributes that we focus on. And we're also happy, that we have about 45% of women population, who become part of this overall, our diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda. And also, given the nature of our diverse business operations, we already enjoy a diverse workforce, which comes naturally to us. That's because, we have operations, like I was just telling Rohan as well, we have operations that are there in medical, pharmaceutical, technology, consumer, defense, mining, construction. So these are the types of operations that we have. Already when we pick up people, they are coming from different backgrounds and different academic qualifications, different mindsets. Some of these academics are only available in northern part of India. There are certain type of skills that are available in the southern part of India. So already, we enjoy a mix of variety of, talent that come to our table because of the kind of portfolios that we have as a business. Other than that, we constantly strive as a metric that we measure internally to ensure, that we have the diverse population, especially on the gender aspect. So now the next month is June month. I'm sure you know that it's a Pride month. So we have also, planned so many activities and initiatives and exclusive drives, which will, encourage our overall, D&I agenda further.
Yeah, those are some great initiatives that you guys are taking. And when we come to D&I, there is a lot of unlearning that goes behind it. And I'm very happy to hear that you have you have the opportunity to give the workforce the diversity they want. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Praveen, for your time today.
Thanks, Priya. It was really nice speaking to you. And as always, glad to be part of any ET platform session. Thank you once again.
Thank you.